Hi friend, how are you on this Saturday? I'm Pat Sloan and this is the Magical Quilty Challenge for the day, plus some other fun stuff that we're doing. So if you looked at the calendar for, look for the calendar for today, I have got Cut It Up. And you might think one thing, and it might not be that. The challenge today has to do with clothing. Yes, have you ever cut up your clothing to put it into a quilt? And I'm not really meaning jeans, because I think a lot of people do jeans quilts, and that's pretty standard. I'm talking about shirts or shorts or your husband's shirt, ties. Well, ties are used a lot too. So, but I'm talking about those things that we don't normally cut up. A dress, yeah. Do you go to the thrift store and look for clothing to cut up? I know a lot of people do that. They go look for shirts and, you know, that kind of a thing. But I'm actually curious if you have gone through your own closet and you've had a piece that you've coveted for a while and think that it would just make excellent fabric for your quilt. Raise your hand. Raise your hand. So years ago, I had a shirt. I remember it was navy with these little flowers, and I worked a quilt show in Lancaster, Pennsylvania with my mother-in-law, and I must have been stopped 20 times. People wanted to know if I had made my shirt and what was the fabric line. So I had not made the shirt. So I thought I should have cut that one up. Skip forward to a few years ago when the shipping department, Mr. Greg, had a shirt with this fabric. And it's you know, at one point this became something he wasn't going to wear anymore, and I grabbed it. So I have gotten it's if it's not 100% cotton, it's close. Wouldn't have mattered if it's not 100%. So this is what I had left. I think I've used a little bit of it. I am going to take a piece of this and put it in my rainbow quilt for the background, for the lights. So what I want you to do is first, the easy one is tell me if you have cut up some clothing, besides jeans, cut up some clothing to use for your quilts. And bonus, show me a picture if you have it, or a picture of the quilt you made if you have that. Do you go thrifting to actually purposely look for clothing? I'm sort of more interested in, like, do you just look in your own stuff and what you have? Now, the more difficult challenge for today would be to go through your clothing, find something that you know is, you know, you're not wearing it anymore, but the fabric is amazing. You know, you might need to cut away some soiled area on it. You know, maybe it got a stain, you know, but you can repurpose it into your collection. So if that is something you find today, share a picture, share a picture of you cutting it up or after you cut it up. Share it before and an after. That would be even better. We want to see that pair of shorts or that shirt or that dress that got made into usable fabric, because, you know, that's the way many quilters worked years ago. A lot of the things that you see in the quilts, and a lot of older quilts, are clothing. We have one that my mother-in-law would tell me, you know, this particular fabric was her mom's house coat, and this particular fabric was her sister's pajamas, and this was her apron, you know, that kind of a thing. Madge knew, you know, all those fabrics, and she could, you know, it was great memories. She would look at them and say, oh yeah, I remember my mom had that as a house dress. Yes, her mom wore, you know, like, you know, they were kind of like dresses, but a certain style. They called them a house dress. It's kind of like, I think they wore those instead of, like, you know, yoga pants and t-shirts back then. They just threw on their house dress and they could do anything. So I'm excited. I want to see what you tell me about fabric from your clothing. Okay, rainbow, rainbow, rainbow. That's the pattern that we're sewing along. I did get, this is the next section, the bottom one. It's not all done yet. It's the bottom one under here, because the pieces I had from yesterday made up, here we go, so made up this. and I needed today's pieces to finish this section out. So, and it won't even all finish it out because it's 5 across and I've only got 4 across. So there's actually one more on this side over here that's yellow, all yellow. And so here's my yellow rainbow blocks for today. I definitely need to shop some novelty prints because they're a little low on all these different colors. I mean, I have a lot of novelty prints here. That I have one bin of older cotton and steel I have to go through. Yellow is, I love yellow. It was my first favorite color. So I have a good number of yellow pieces, but a lot of them don't seem to be printed as novelties. So here first is floral I had, so that's one of mine. And then, the glasses. I love this fabric. I love it. I have worn glasses since 5th grade? Yeah. I love my glasses. Okay, and then the banana fabric, right? This is the Tulip Pink fabric that I did for the 4-block button project, the Happy Dance. So I went and grabbed the square of the yellow bananas. I thought, perfect, I gotta put the yellow bananas in here. Now I have a 10-inch square with a 5-inch square taken out of it, but that's okay. I will figure out what to do with the others. So now I can finish this row and then sew 2 more. And I think, well, there'd be 3. So I'll need 1 more for tomorrow to finish out this section. It's amazing when you only do a few a day. I can understand why some of you have just said, this is fun, I'm going to make the whole rainbow quilt and be done. I can understand that. I'm resisting that. I don't want to zoom ahead. Okay, so I have this little side project from last month's sew along, stay at home, the stay at home blocks. Remember those? Where, you know, we had the block that there's a octopus, and then when we did these units, you know, we have the triangle that was left over. Well, remember I was saying I didn't really know, like I have this whole bag of these, and I'm like, do I want to take the time to trim all these? Because my best laid plans, I had intended to, like every time I made one of these, I was going to trim them. And some of you did an incredible job. You took these, you made little pinwheels, and you put them in their cornerstones, and you really nailed it with that. I, on the other hand, just put them in the baggie. And I only finished sewing the triangles just recently. So the other day, I looked around because I was looking for fabric, and I found this little pineapple fabric, and I thought, what if I put the little pineapple fabric in the middle and made these little, took these and used them and made these little shoe fly blocks. So this is a shoe fly block, and it's a 3-inch finished, because these all are 1-inch finished, just like that's what the middle is, it's 1 inch. I thought, well, that's awful darn cute. Then I think, well, I did 30 blocks, so that means there's 30 plus a few extra of these, so just basically say 30. So that means I'd be 30 3-inch blocks. So it could make a little table runner out of them. Of course, you could go really crazy and make even more units and make a whole quilt of little 3-inch blocks. Someday I want to do that. I know it sounds insane, but I have seen, you know, you go to the show and you see this quilt with all these teeny tiny blocks, and they're so incredibly gorgeous. I thought, that's what I want to do someday. I was like, I don't know if this is the start. I actually have little mini stars also started from the sew and flips of another project. I think they were from the Christmas one last year, the Christmas fig, the blue Christmas fig, all those little tiny blue pieces I cut off. Yeah, I have those. But that one, you know, all these wonderful ideas, lots of wonderful ideas. Okay, so here is my true confession. I haven't done, but I'm going to do this today because I can. I have, we talked about pin cushions the other day, and I forgot to mention that I do use these dishes. I don't consider these a pin cushion. That's why I didn't think to show them, but a lot of you were showing your pin bowls. Some of you don't use magnetic ones. These are magnetic, so like there's a magnet on the bottom there, and that way if you dump them, they don't really come out. And if you do drop some, you can just, run this over it and they'll pick them up really easy, like on the floor. So that's kind of nice. But I use this to throw pins in, but I don't consider it a pin cushion. But that got to me thinking that there's the wrong. See, did you see in there? Do you see there's a yellow pin? I only want the pink and white ones in here. So the yellow one has to go up on the pin on the design wall. So I realized I had not put in my unicorn straight pins. So right now, in front of all of you, I am going to put them in there. Because if I don't do it, if I just stop the camera and go put them back, I won't put them in. So here's the unicorns. Everybody needs unicorn pins. Oh my goodness. And they're in there. So I get to use them. And they're so cute. Yes. It makes me happy. Okay. One last thing. On my wall, let me scoot over. I have all but the last 4 blocks that we haven't done yet of the childhood games. There we go. I sewed them all together. So excited. Now the pattern doesn't have a border on it, but you might want to put one on. You could do, I'll like give some thoughts on that afterwards, because some people might want it bigger. It's a nice size, so if you want to quilt it yourself, it's not too big. It's a great size for kids, with the childhood games. I make it a little bit great size to hang up as a decoration on your wall, because I hang a lot of quilts on my walls. But I'll give some thoughts on what it would look like to put a border on it, just in case you want it bigger. Okay. This is a great weekend, right? Of course it is. It's the weekend. No matter what, it's great. So I'm Pat Sloan. Thank you for being here. Thank you for using my links. It supports our small family business. We love you. We love you very much. And if you are not on my Facebook community, come on over. Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. Links are underneath, and I will see you there. Mwah, mwah. I love you guys.